Hey, it's me, MLB, back with another chapter of Rapid Fate Online. This is chapter 77, titled BB Hunt. He nodded. Yes, I think we need to get to the bottom of this too. You turned and flopped down onto him and hugged him, nuzzling your nose into his chest. Do we need to go back to the shipwreck? You asked him. We'll need to see if there's any other evidence there that could help us figure out who we need to talk to, he said, hugging you back. You sat up off him, and he sat up as well, then got off the bed. But this time, let's put swimming gear on at least, he said. It's very distracting when you don't have any clothes on. Speak for yourself, he replied with a chuckle. After going to the online store from your inventory and buying some swimming gear, you both walked to the back deck and jumped into the water. Do you remember which direction the shipwreck was in? He asked as you bobbed in the gentle waves. This way, I think, you said, pointing in the direction out to sea. Okay, let's go and have a look. He turned in the direction you had pointed and started swimming, occasionally putting his head underwater and looking around. You followed happily beside him, doing the same underwater checks that he was doing. As you got further from the hut, you dove down a little bit and looked out further. In the distance, to your right, you could see the faint outline of a ship, and you grabbed Butterfly's leg and pulled on it. You heard a bubbled scream from above and looked at him with surprise. Sorry, I didn't know if you grabbed me, he bubbled back to you sheepishly, then dove under to follow you to the ocean bed. A short underwater walk later, and you reached the shipwreck again. All was calm, and no eels or sharks came around to harass you, which was nice. Look for some type of emblem or name on the ship, Butterfly bubbled to you. You nodded, looking along the side of the ship for any identifying features. As you felt your way along to the front of the ship, you saw a serial number printed in white, a name, and an emblem. 765CX, the Ducat, and then the emblem of a lion head surrounded by a circle of small stars. Well, it's all here, you thought, as you looked around for Butterfly. Seeing him a little way off, you waited until he was looking in your direction, and then you waved to him, calling him to come and look at what you'd found. He swam over and had a look at it, and then nodded at you and pointed to the surface of the water. You nodded and followed him up, slowly, then once above the water discussed what you'd found. Well, all the information's there, now we just need to read through the forums that Bestie told me about so that we can understand what happened. You swished your arms back and forth in the water. That's a good idea, he replied, swimming beside you as you headed back to the villa. Now back in the room, you lay on the bed together, reading the RFO forums that related to any ship named the Ducat. It sounds like this ship is well known as a slave transport ship, you mused as you finished reading someone's encounter with it. The lion symbol with the stars around it points to it being owned by a group called the Blue Businessmen. This sounds official, Butterfly mused. They sound like some kind of in-game corporation. There's probably a whole hierarchy of slave traders that try to make it look like a lawful business, you commented. I wonder which level their HQ is on. Does it say anywhere? Butterfly asked. You shook your head. Everyone seems a little scared of them, so players who write in are keeping themselves anonymous. All that they're basically saying is that you don't ever want to do business with the Blue Businessmen because they do underhanded stuff. Like what? These people don't want to say because they're already fearing for their in-game lives, so going this far as to try and expose the group is a bit dangerous, he replied. Well, now this makes me even more suspicious, Butterfly said. Let me contact a few people and see if I can find out more about them. Better yet, do you want to come with me? Do we get to do a little exploring? You asked excitedly. In a way, yes, he replied. We also get to solve a mystery. You had me well before you said any of this, you chuckled as you got off the bed. As long as I'm with you, I'm happy. He smiled. The feeling's mutual. Donning clothes, you and Butterfly walked to the front doors of that overwater island bungalow and contacted the owner through the in-game messaging app, asking for him to come and pick you up. He did, and you were on the teleport pad of level 36 before you knew it. So, where are we going? You asked your in-game hubby. Level 1, he replied with a smile. Oh, really? I thought we'd be going to a higher level. No, we'll start on level 1, because that's where these BB, Blue Business people, will be recruiting new players. I'll talk to a few of the shop owners on that level. They may have heard something. Okay, he said with a smile. holding his hand as he called for you both to be transported down to the very first level, level 1. Stepping down onto the cobblestone street, you took a breath in, then sighed nostalgically. I remember this level. I tried so hard to get good in this game by picking berries, you chuckled. I wonder if my merchant shop is still around the corner. Is it still a trade shop? You wondered all your things out loud as Butterfly walked to the inn that he had first met you in. The place had since changed owners, so he greeted the new owner kindly. Good morning, sir, he said pleasantly. Good morning, Butterfly, the new owner replied, having never met the top player before. Oh my god, it's Butterfly! Holy, what's he doing here? Someone gasped to their friend from nearby, and you looked across at them, then back to the new owner, who had heard their exclamations and gave Butterfly a curious look. Are you well known here? The owner asked him. Butterfly hesitated a little, so you added in your piece. Butterfly is the number 1 ranked player in RFO, you said proudly. And there ends chapter 77. Stay tuned for chapter 78.